Good morning. My rant of the day is Springfield, Ohio, but it's not about whether people or Haitians are eating their pets. It's why are they there? So I want to cover and go into a couple talking points that I found super interesting as I was going down this rabbit hole. And again, there are so many rabbit holes to go down on this. It is insane. And, will you ever know the truth or what's really going on? I don't know that we'll ever get to that point, but there are certain things that you can kind of pull and find out, and it gives you a bigger, clearer picture of what's going on, to just kind of base your own beliefs and thoughts on it. And I think what's super important is just an open dialogue here. Being able to try to figure out as a society, and if we are all talking amongst each other, we can figure out a bigger picture. And then if we can figure out the bigger picture, maybe we can find out and figure out solutions, which to me is, instead of being online and contributing into pot stirring and getting excited about the headlines of people eating people's pets from another country, why are they here? What's the benefit to the United States or the political parties or the corporations or whoever is funding them to get here? And then why are the specific placements of where they are at? And again, I don't know all the answers to that, but I do have some things that I've looked up that I thought was super interesting that I wanted to share with you this morning. I do want to speak about what I am currently seeing in my state, which is Washington. I live in Spokane, Washington, and I was a route driver. And while I was on route the last several years, I have seen a migration of Kenyan people moving here. And what I've seen in my specific area is they are buying up people's homes that are for sale, and they're being converted into adult homes. And then all the people that work there are Kenyans. And from what I've understand by talking to them, it sounds like some of the doctors and different people that are getting funded from our government with scholarships from Kenya are getting money. They're finding out the systems here, and then they're moving over their Kenyan family, and they're soliciting them for like free room and board, and they live in these adult homes, and they provide the care for our aging population. So that is kind of a system that I've seen here. What I didn't realize is the scholarship was something that I found out that was kind of new in my research this morning when I started looking into the Kenyans in Springfield. But there is a lot of government scholarships that go to different countries like Kenya to solicit them coming over here for our healthcare programs, that's a whole nother rabbit hole. I'm not going to get into that. But what I do want to focus on is some of what I found out as far as the Haitians that are coming to Springfield. So there's this thing that's called TPS, and it's temporary protective status. And it's kind of an interesting thing. So basically, what it is by the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. It grants temporary immigration benefits to nationals of certain countries who are already in the U.S. but cannot safely return to their home and country due to a specific crisis. Basically, those crises could be anywhere from ongoing armed conflict, natural disasters, basically extraordinary temporary conditions, and you can get granted this protective status. It allows for you to be here for 6 to 12, 18 months. It can be extended past that, which it has. I'll go into the dates a little bit of like how long it's been extended, and I think it might be shocking for people, or at least it was for me. But it allows them to stay, and it can keep continuously getting extended. It allows them to get work visas and to be part of our working communities. Now, the people in Springfield are saying that they're getting driver's license without even having to test and all of that, which is great information because there's nothing that you can really find specifically online that's speaking to the amount of accommodations that are being granted, except for what the people over there are seeing. So I think it's extremely important that the communication is coming from Springfield directly from the residents of what they're seeing, so we can help to grow a bigger picture. But this is what's really kind of insane to me is that, so when did this start for Haiti, for the Haitian immigrants? So in 2010, under the Obama administration, there was that earthquake that happened in 2010. At that time, this went into effect. So Then during the Trump administration from 2017 to 2019, it does look like the Trump administration tried to terminate this. And basically what they wanted to do was to give an end date of 2019 for them to have to report back to their country and to leave the United States. However, it looks like it got tied up in the courts or whatever, and it was basically put on hold. So it never actually happened. So there are people here from Haiti that have probably been here since 2010, because as we continue to go forward, so that bill was kind of like put on hold. Well, it's not a bill, they say, but it was put on hold. So then in May of 2021, there was an actual official extension of it, even though there was still no deportation, but it was kind of like it was reactivated, and there was probably like tied up legalities or whatever. So people were able to stay, but they weren't being deported, you know, yada, yada, yada. But May of 2021, the Biden administration reestablished and designates the Haitians to stay here under TPS, temporary protective status, due to the violence, the gang violence, the political unrest, and the assassination of their president. So this was of May of 2021. Then August of 2021, it gets extended again because there is another earthquake. Then January, so it's been extended, like just been riding this whole time since 2010. January of 2023, it gets extended again. And this time it gets extended to August of 2024 because there is violence and political and economic issues happening in Haiti, which basically, I mean, doesn't sound, it's kind of ironic because they're coming here, but we are really, I think, in the United States starting to have a lot of gang violence. I mean, we're having school shootings. We're having issues here. We're having political, like, kind of uprising or unrest here. We did have an attempted assassination. But these people are able to come here under, I would say, any context that allows them to be here. So what is the benefit to the United States by doing that? So if you read about it, it talks about us getting to be a big brother and, you know, humanity aid, and we're like doing the right things. But we all know with big corporations and big greedy governments, regardless if they're Republican or regardless of the Democrat, there is a benefit, right? It doesn't matter if we're uncomfortable or if it's putting a burden on us, as long as the wealthy and the 1%ers get to maintain that, right? We're all part of this little game, and they get to play it for whatever benefits them the most. And until we realize that we're part of a game, and we need to, you know, stop looking at things that divide us and look at things that bring us together. I don't have any issues with the Haitians. I don't blame them. If this country continues to implode, I would like an opportunity to go somewhere else. It would be really nice to be able to go somewhere else and get the handouts. But that's not the case. And it does suck when the handouts are coming off the backs of the current citizens, and the citizens don't even receive the benefits of the things that they are paying into. And I think that's why people are upset, is we need to focus on that instead of like looking at the different things that are like creating this passion within us. The reality of it is our own government that we vote into office and that we pay our taxes, which means we pay their payroll, do not work for us. They have their own agendas. And I think that's just what we need to wake up to. So what is the benefit? So it looks like it comes down to the fact that, and this is me adding my own take on it, is when I was in California, the immigration was huge when I was a kid. Now I'm 46 years old. Immigration was huge. And it was a lot of the Hispanics, a lot of people coming from Mexico for a better life. And they were working in our farms, and they were picking our strawberries and our fruits and stuff like that, because we had started to get where white people, or Americans, I shouldn't say white people, but Americans didn't want to do that type of work. So it was outsourced. Not only that, but Americans didn't want to do it without benefits. Americans didn't want to do it without a decent pay to be able to support their family. And so it became a situation where we took on the immigration of Mexico and their workforce. So it happens, and it's been happening for a very, very long time. And I think part of it, you know, people are like, well, because they want more Democrats voting and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that's not the case at all. I think a lot of people are waking up to the fact that we're in a system. But again, I don't think that the system is structured for success, whether we are Republican or Democrat. I think we need something completely different. And I think we need a lot less government. That's just my personal opinion. But it does seem that big businesses are benefiting from that. They need more worker bees that want less benefits and less pay, period, because that keeps their cost low and it keeps their stocks up, right? And that's what it comes down to, is the shareholder. It will always come down to the shareholders and the big business and the big conglomerates and all of that. So I think that is a lot to do with it too, is it says that a lot of these people are going into like the healthcare. They're probably working a lot of like low healthcare jobs. It says, you know, construction, it says agriculture, hotels, that kind of stuff. So I think that some of that is for employment purposes, for big businesses to get labor cheaper, and I bet you they're not having to pay for the workers' comp and all the stuff that they have to pay for Americans. So I think that's another piece of it. Now I'm gonna try to wrap this up because I could ramble on forever, and there's so much more that I would like to tie in, because I thought it was really interesting as far as the East Palestine derailment also happening in Ohio. And it just seems like if you search different things, Ohio comes up quite a bit. So for it being such a small area and a lot of people being there so quiet, and a lot of stuff goes on there. And so those are other rabbit holes that I would strongly encourage you to go down. There's so many different things, if you get engaged and you look into, will make you be like, what's really going on? But that was just some information that I wanted to share that I found. And I hope that everybody has a good day, and good luck out there.